under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everyone.
Morning.
Morning. Call the meeting to order. Looking for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Approval of minutes from September 22nd, 2025.
So moved. I thought they read well.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. New business, item number 1. Carroll Children's Museum funding request. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. And I already did turn on the microphone. So if you guys will just introduce yourselves and then you guys can give. Doesn't not matter, whatever you're more comfortable with.
Okay. You can slide the microphone between them if you want. Is that one on? No, one on.
Yeah, I did turn both of them on.
It's on. Okay. It's not very red, but. No.
Okay, I hope you guys all got one of these.
Introduce yourself first, please.
Sorry. I'm Marcy Hercock and I am one of the executive directors of the Carroll Children's Museum.
And I'm Amy Shoemaker. I am the other executive director at Carroll Children's Museum.
I think we should introduce ourselves because I don't know. Are you guys familiar with any of
No,
us? Okay.
Not at all.
I'm Mike Anderson, District 2 Supervisor.
Stephanie Houseman.
Scott Johnson.
Gene Miners.
Mark McCray.
Nice to meet you all. It's nice to see like the names with faces. And
I feel like
Well,
I've,
I have to
Together.
forget to write down.
I know I've seen your names around, but
exactly,
it's,
it's nice to put a face with the name.
yes. Okay. We're gonna start. I don't know how familiar any of you are with the Carroll Children's Museum. I know some people have, don't even know we exist. We don't know where we are, who we are, what we are. Amy and I met in probably January, February of 2023. The chamber introduced us to each other, and then we established the Carroll Children's Museum in March of 2023. We started working on the Children's Museum, and then we got our 501c3 in October of 2023. And then we opened our doors on December 4th of 2023. We are in the old Christopher and Banks location in the Westgate Mall. So we renovated that space. You can see some of the pictures where we took it from the,
Took all the wallpaper.
we took all the wallpaper off, removed all the carpet, put new flooring, painted the walls. And then when we opened in December of 2023, we had 11 exhibits that had been sponsored by local businesses or individuals. We now have 18 exhibits. We've been able to expand due to sponsorships from additional businesses and individuals.
And demand. We
Yes.
very quickly outgrew the Christopher and Banks space, and now we are expanded in the space right next to us. So we now have 2 units that.
Yep. So in October of 24, we expanded, we cut out a wall and expanded into the space next to us, which has allowed us to expand more exhibits to meet the demand and create a program space to meet the demand of our programming. So our summer camps and our no school adventure camps. We have been able to hire hourly employees to help us keep the museum open, which has been wonderful. And we have 2 volunteers who volunteer twice a month for us during the week, we're very thankful for that. Both of us are volunteer at this point in time. We do not take a salary, but we have our hourly employees that we're able to create some jobs for them. Yes, we are looking to purchase our space, both of our spaces in the mall so that we can have a permanent location and be in the community for a long time. That will also help create, we don't have to pay rent because rent is probably one of our top 2 expenses besides wages, obviously. But rent is our highest expense. And so if we take that off the table, we're able to provide a better experience for our visitors. We're able to
How much is rent?
rent is about $1,800 a month.
And that includes utilities.
That includes utilities. Or, yeah, no, 2,100 is with utilities. It's about 1,800 without utilities. We are getting a very good deal on our second space. Otherwise, we would not have been able
To expand.
to expand. It's about 1,500 for our initial space, and then the rest is for the second space. Yep.
And did you ask about insurance as well?
That included in that?
No,
Continue, sorry.
no, it's okay. Did you have anything else you wanted?
Nope.
To add of why we want to purchase the space?
Oh, yeah. Well, like you said, so that we can reallocate their admission incomes and camp registrations, we can reallocate that to better experience, to provide a better experience for our kids that visit. Like we can buy more supplies, we could replace, you know, things that have broken, we can add on, we can, I mean, yeah, we can.
The possibilities are
create-
endless.
Yeah, we could create more jobs, because right now
Yeah.
our hours are very restricted, but if we were able to, and if the demand's there, because right now, like fall, weather's really nice, except for those little black bugs that keep attacking us. But the weather's gorgeous, so you're gonna want to spend it outside. This fall is exceptionally hot, so you want to be in the museum. So it's like, if the demand's there, we could expand the hours and we could afford to do that. So. If we weren't
Are
paying.
your hours the same as the mall hours or different than the mall hours or?
They're different. We offer daytime hours Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And then Wednesday and Thursday, we offer evening hours to offer it for people who maybe work during the day, or we worked with with Fusion to see when they would have people who might need to use the museum, because they drop one of their kids off for a dance class and they need something to
Walk
do.
over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we offer all day Saturday, 9 to 5, and then 12 to 4 on Sundays.
So Saturday, Sunday matches the mall hours, but we do close a little early Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and then we stay
We're
open
open.
later than like True Value on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but then we have the keys to the mall, so we can just lock up when we're done.
If you buy this building, get it taken care of, will the income you think and memberships sustain it for your all your payments and your salaries and things like that?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
What is your ask from this board?
We're not sure what you're able to give us, I guess.
Is it a one-time campaign?
It would be a
Yes.
one-time commitment to the capital campaign. Yes.
Because we've already completed the budget for fiscal year 25, so
Sure.
this would be the first funding request, which is
A little premature for fiscal year 26, which wouldn't be until July 1 of 26.
Okay.
Okay.
So what do you derive your income from now? Is that from fees that you charge the kids, or
Daily admission fees and memberships. Mhm.
so what are those fees?
It's $8 a day for kids. And then we also offer punch cards, which are $70 for a 10-pass punch card. And then annual family memberships are $250.
so does an adult have to be with the children? I mean, you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
unless our programming, we offer camps, those are drop off. But everything else, the parents have to be there. And the first 2 adults with the kids are free.
Have you approached the city of Carroll?
Not yet.
I met with the city manager.
Okay.
And we've talked a little bit
And you
and
haven't been on their agenda for a formal.
no, we kind of waiting until the new city council gets established, but also he said that they can match grants, but they can't necessarily just donate to us, or like give us funding unless we have some sort of grant that they can match. Is what was communicated to me.
Have you applied for any other grants, like,
I've applied for several grants. Yeah.
No luck with them or?
We've gotten a few. We got one from Pella, a large grant from Pella, to purchase, the giant light bright wall. And then we got one from the Timmerman Trust last year.
Grow green.
So we just found out about that one. And I'm trying to, because they go through the,
Carroll Community Foundation.
yes,
Mhm.
I have submitted the application for that for this year. Yep.
You're a good candidate for that. I used to sit on that board. You're a good candidate because not only through that, but you can get funding from the Carroll Community Foundation. And then the Grow Green is 2 or 3 of those applicants receive most of the majority of the money. But you are a good applicant for that funding because they love to see projects like this. And everybody loves to see projects. for
I think it's a
children.
cool thing.
I do too.
But
So your guys' capital campaign, are you guys going around asking for private funding as well? Or from businesses and things like that?
Yes, so we're launching our like quiet phase of our capital campaign in October. And that will be individual private meetings at first, and then the goal is to raise at least 75% of it through those, and then launch our public campaign after that.
So what is the total amount you need to purchase this?
400.
Oh, okay.
It is
okay.
400,000, yep.
so
Right
what is
there,
your
fine.
ask on that is for?
At least 10,000 would be ideal.
So there is a funding that we have. It's called local option sales tax, right? It's a good checking account, if you will, to give back to the community because it is part of what people spend in Carroll goes into this fund. And to put back, like that's where we funded Merchants Park, you know, because it brings in people, things like this. I think this is a great opportunity. There's not a lot of demand, or there's not a lot of opportunity for younger children in Carroll to have a hands-on. And looking at your pictures, I have been in your facility before. I think it's a phenomenal thing, and thank you girls for doing what you do, providing to the community an area where there was a void and doing it. You know, you guys are volunteering your time, which is phenomenal. So thank you for all your guys' time and commitment to Carroll. I do think this is something that we can look at.
If we were to review options.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, it's gonna be a little bit of time. We're just gonna, in the end of October, beginning of November, we'll be starting to do our funding for fiscal year 2026. So you won't know right away, but I would say we normally reach out the end of December,
It's like February, March, probably we'd have solid numbers.
solid numbers.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So what I mean, my recommendation is I would create a letterhead of the actual amount that you want to request and then submit that probably to Courtney so we know the full amount that you guys are requesting.
You're officially the first request. of that fiscal year.
So
We got in very early.
But no, do not apologize. I appreciate this. So we're not,
Yeah.
you know, right in the dead of budget and then also have, you know, because we've got probably 15 to 20 other entities that do come.
so
One of you two was out speaking for that.
We were both out there.
Okay.
Yep.
You're also,
That's what we thought. yeah.
that City Neal.
Yeah,
Yes.
the nonprofit lunch. Yep.
Yeah.
So I assume you probably want this all at one time funding, or would it be acceptable to have it over a 2-year period?
The capital campaign, we're hoping to reach in 12 months. What are your feelings on that?
I think in order for us to purchase the space outright from our landlord and have it have it clear, we would like it all at once.
Okay. Now, I would suggest you reach out to other organizations for grants. There's a lot of the casino money around different places, like Prairie Meadows has got one, Western Iowa Advantage. Even though we don't get a lot of that, I think it's probably an application that could draw some attention. I think that'd be a good place to apply. Just some suggestions.
Sure.
You guys have a good thing going
Yeah.
and just drawing attention to it. I think you're going to get you can get a lot of.
I
donations.
was aware where you were at because I was there a day that I think it was Farm Bureau put that tractor up there.
Or they put the barn.
barn.
Yep.
Barn, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I happened to be in that area that day when that was going on. so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've been out there too, so my grandkids, I think, went through the mall one time and went to
Yeah.
take a look at it, so.
Yeah.
Gotta go in there.
It's pretty
Well,
cool.
and we have huge visions for the mall itself. We just it needs updated and someone needs to get behind it to like put a fresh coat of paint on or something, so.
And if we're able to have a permanent space in the mall, we feel like we can do more to help revitalize the mall.
Bring more visitors downtown. Yeah.
Well, kid-friendly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcy and Amy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, I mean, just come up with the letterhead and get it to Courtney.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Item number 2, secondary roads. That you have a grade? I do.
This is just actually in the city limits of Carroll, just east of the Kemper Field House, basically. There's a tile that goes north-south across East Anthony Street, and there was also intakes in the ditch, or at least on one side, and there was an issue where that intake was that we did get repaired. It was a pretty minor fix, but that's
Done?
all done.
62, okay. What's on for a motion to? approve
So moved.
the agreement?
Second.
We have a motion in a second, all in favor?
All right.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. B, construction update.
Yes, box culverts. So on 320th Street, that one is complete. Believe the guys were putting the finishing touches on getting fence installed on Friday. Might be a couple touch-ups to do there. Did some final grading, need to get it seeded yet, but as far as the contractor is concerned, he's done with that project. So he's moved on to the box on 300th Street. That has been set. They're working on backfilling it. Hoping by Wednesday, we should be able to have that one back open again. So a little more fill on that one with it being.
Both those will be unposted then.
Correct. Yep. Correct. A little more fill on that one with it being a deeper box. So, but good weather this week. Shouldn't have any
Yeah,
issues with
good
that.
dry weather, yeah.
So, other construction, we did some patching in Maple River, adjacent to the cemetery. Got that accomplished last week, and that opened up on Friday. So should be done over there. As well on Hawthorne and N14, we got our bridge approaches done, as well as the intersection down there, and that got opened up on Friday as well. So that's another nice one to have.
So it's all the patching done on Hawthorne.
As far as I know, unless something pops up that is unforeseen,
So
where
it's ready to diamond.
Right.
that's our
Okay.
hope. That's our plan.
That's next year, right?
That's our plan.
The bridge is open now.
The bridge on Hawthorne.
Yeah.
Yes, yep, they opened that up on Friday. They actually opened the bridge approaches up like Wednesday, I believe. They had cure time, so they're letting the couple residents get out to the north that way. But that half mile wasn't open because of the intersection, but the bridge approaches did have their cure time, and they were able to open that up beforehand, so.
Is Maple River done completely?
Yes, with the seal coat that we did, and that patching, as far as I'm concerned, we've addressed the major issues, and hopefully we're, it's gonna last for foreseeable future.
Thank you.
It looks good. I drove on it the other day. I thought it turned out pretty well.
Yeah.
My opinion.
The cemetery road looks good too. That's all I got.
Thanks, sir.
Any more questions?
Oh, yes. How about the Templeton shed? How you coming on that?
Just starting to build walls this week, so I think it's gonna be another week yet for sure before we get trusses, but depends if there's not a lot of them, so it depends on when they can squeeze those in, when we would get those,
All
but
right.
we're starting that process.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Thanks, Zach.
Thank you.
Item number 3, public health orderly update. Hi, Maggie.
Morning, Maggie.
Morning, Maggie.
Good, how are you?
Oh, just standing Monday morning, it's always a treat. Yeah. All right, quarterly update. So this is from pretty much the entire summer up until now, and then got a little snapshot of what we've got coming down the pipeline. So over the summer, we did our sun safety project, and that's the gallons of sunscreen that we get through our grant from the Iowa Cancer Consortium. This summer we did 2 gallons. Last summer we did 1 and went through it halfway through the summer. So I increased that ask this year to 2 gallons. And that was just perfect. So We're completely out of that. We visited all the pools, participated, was
Senior Fun Day wiped you out on.
Yes,
something.
it did. I had just maybe like 30 little 1 ounce cups left and that cleared it out. So that was good. But yeah, we visited all the pools, the chamber, golf outing, and then we did a few different activities with state baseball. This year's state baseball had really nice weather, so that went over really well. If there's a year that maybe it's rainy or cloudy, it may or may not go over as well, but this year was really great for our sunscreen. So we had quite a few disease investigations last year, 12 in total, and then this year, July 1st till now, I've already done 9. So a little uptick in that. We've started our school immunization audit.
What typically type of disease are you investigating?
We only get a handful from the state epidemiologists. So that would include E. coli, Campylobacter, Salmonella, could include TB, West Nile is in that as well. The state handles a lot of them.
These are in the schools?
Nope,
Oh.
any county resident. So they might not have contracted it in the county, but they live in the county. So they get sent to us based on their residential address.
Great.
Yeah, school immunization audits due at the end of October to the state. I've already visited all the schools in the past couple of weeks, so we've just got a few records to follow up on, but got it completed for the most part, just following up with a few with the school nurses. So along with vaccines, we've got our county employee clinic coming up here on the 22nd. Courtney and her staff are sending out a flyer in this current pay stub run that all the employees will receive, just reminding them of that. And it'll be in this room here from 2 to 4. Along the same theme of vaccines and influenza, we did receive an additional $6,000 from the state for our emergency preparedness grant, but specifically for avian influenza and seasonal influenza to bring education to farm workers. So I've been working on creating a avian influenza, seasonal flu, and COVID-19 hand guide, resource guide, however you want to call it. I found that there's separate resources or educational handouts for each of those things, but there's not one guide, one specifically for farm workers, and 2 that encompasses avian, seasonal, and COVID-19 information. So I'm creating my own. And I've been working with Nick Cullen. He's the veterinary that sits on our Board of Health. And then Dr. Andrew Hennenfent, he is the state public health veterinarian. Just combining all of the resources that I found through CDC, Proteus, Iowa Workforce Development, Iowa HHS, combining all these individual resource guides into one cohesive unit, and then utilizing that $6,000 to cover my time for that, and then also cover the printing costs for those resource guides. So something I've been working on. Let's see what else. So I know Mark's been filling in on our opioid settlement fund, but we have our next committee meeting on the 8th. So far, we have 2 formal applications, one from the ambulance and then one from New Opportunities. And then Mark is also working with the schools to get a speaker to come and talk with the students about some opioid related information.
2 this weekend, so they're receptive of it. It's got 3 more to hit, so.
Yeah. So we will have a recommendation to you after that October 8th meeting. So,
Awesome.
yeah, we're pretty happy with how it's gone so far. Yeah. Some different emergency preparedness trainings, CPR, we did 22 last year. That was all county employees. And then 6 so far this year, again, all county employees. Our Stop the Bleed, we've been very busy on. 126 trained people last year. That was county employees, city employees. We were able to purchase through our emergency preparedness grant, Stop the Bleed kits and wall mounts. A caveat of that was the state asked for the individuals who were receiving those kits to be trained. I know you're all very familiar with that because we did it here for our county employees. So that 126 was for all of the city halls that we brought it to, libraries that received those Stop the Bleed kits. And then this year, from July 1st to now, we've trained nearly just shy of 300 people. A majority of that was all the Carroll Community School District teachers, support staffs, administrators. They had a health fair that their school nurses facilitated before school started, where they did CPR trainings, Stop the Bleed trainings, and then respiratory response, first aid, and EpiPen training. So we hosted the Stop the Bleed training. So all of our Carroll Community School District teachers and support staff are all trained on how to use those. And you could probably add another 50 to 60 onto that 299 number. This past Saturday, we were at the Haunted Bison Hollow, and we're doing Stop the Bleed trainings there with kids. And we were asking them, have you seen these big red boxes in your school? They're by the AED. Almost all of them said, I know exactly where that's at. And so now they know how to use it. So that was really great to hear. And a lot of the parents were receptive and very supportive of, how great initiative, great resource to have in our schools. So in the event of an emergency, the kids know where they're at.
Excuse me.
You're okay, Gene.
Damn spam.
They get you, don't they?
You do
Yeah.
anything on targeting seniors on spam calls?
I think that's more of a nuisance, not a public health
Okay.
issue.
I know.
Oh, goodness, yeah. And then you'll see just on the bottom left there, just some different activities we've done since April, county-wide events, some targeted health training days. And then we've got our car seat checks. I did 23 last year, only 2 so far this year. We've been distributing gun locks. That's a new initiative we have with St. Anthony's. I've been working with Alex Gilland. Well, now she's on maternity leave, but before she went, she was able to provide us with 50 gun locks, and all of those were distributed at Senior Fun Day within the first hour and a half. So I need to get more gun locks. But, and she got those through the Iowa Suicide Prevention Council. That was, but and then our other new initiative is the Roth ID tags, and I brought one here to show you because it's just easier to show. So Roth ID tags are, Roth ID is a nonprofit organization that the family of Julie Roth, she was a mother who tragically passed. Her and her unborn child that she was carrying passed in a car accident in which her 2 other children were in the back seat. The damage was so severe to the vehicle, they could not figure out who the vehicle belonged to and who the 2 children in the back belonged to, who their next of kin would have been. So the family of Julie and these 2 surviving children created this Roth ID tag. And what it is this flashy little tag that goes on the side of a car seat. It can go on a seat belt. It is fully weatherproof, waterproof. On the back, you would write emergency contact information, the child's name, date of birth, any allergies, any information to know. And then this adheres to the side of a car seat. So in the event of an emergency, your first responders would tear this tag off. And then there's 2 tabs on the side that tear off and adheres to a child to make sort of an ID bracelet. So I've been getting these tags. They're very expensive, but I was approved for this to be fully funded through our emergency preparedness grant. I was able to purchase 200 tags for the price of about $1,500. So, and I've been really,
It's fireproof too?
I guess I don't know. I would
They're that expensive.
assume so. Along with the tags comes the brochure of how to utilize them and install them. And then these tear off business card size emergency contacts. So whoever is listed on the card, the intention is that you would also hand that adult this individual card that they can carry with them just for a reunification process. So they can cross-identify that this child goes with this individual. And then it also comes with a smaller ID tag that says that you could stick on like a cup holder that's on the car seat or on the door so that a first responder sees it and knows to look for this tag on the car seat. So yeah, so we got funding for that and I'm very excited for that. And I will just be, along with the education that I hand out during our car seat checks, I'll start including those as well. So very excited about that. And we've been working on letting our first responders know that they may start to see those on car seats or on younger passengers in the county. So to look for that in the event of an accident. Later today, we have our 99 counties project. I know I sent you all the invitation for that. You can join online or I'll be hosting a listening session at the library. That's from 2 to 3. And then we've got a few DMAC nursing students coming to Shadow Public Health in November. So I'm working on getting some information put together from them just to expose them to some different public health practices and what Carroll County Public Health does and what other public health entities and states do. And then our next Board of Health meeting is on the 12th.
And you need a new doctor.
We do. I know. I'm sad. Dr. Heim is leaving us, but she got us through COVID. So I'm very grateful for that and the transition from hospital to county ownership. So she's.
Have you had anybody apply yet?
Apply? No, just only because we don't take formal applications.
Have you
We've
had
got.
Anybody express interest?
We've got 2. Dr. Vanil Buma at St. Anthony's is very interested. He was previously on the Webster County Board of Health, moved to Illinois and now is back in the area. So he's expressed interest. And then Sarah Fleece, she is the provider at Highway 30 Health in Glidden. She just opened her practice. It's a direct care practice model. She is also running for mayor of Glidden. So depending on how that shakes out, she would potentially.
You
be
did your
interested.
job. You put the word out and look at 2 responses. It's not me.
But and then I also just included our end of fiscal year 24-25 statements. You could see how our numbers resulted there. Utilized a total just over 56,000 of our tax asking of 75. We had quite a bit more revenue than we were anticipating. So that's the difference there. We had an increase in our Care for Yourself grant, the immunization grant, which we typically don't get any additional funds from the immunization grant. We did because we had an active TB case, which requires a lot of staff time. We have to meet with that person every single day to give them medication and do a lot of follow-up work. So the state adds some additional funds just because of the increased staff time there. So unless we have another active TB case, that is not our norm. Typically, we're at that 10,500 for the immunization grant. And then local public health services, that's the grant that we split with the home care aids department. We got a little bit more there. And then our emergency preparedness grant revenue was more, but we also had additional funds to support the Stop the Bleed efforts and all that good jazz. So. And then just a quick look at our current year to date, only 2 months into the fiscal year. So not much to report there, but just so you can see where we're at.
How's your home aid care program going?
Good. Yeah, they are fully staffed. They're very, very busy.
I see the county to the north just announced that they're gonna be putting in that program. Zach,
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
healthcare aid and something else. What was it?
chore aids or.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Hopefully see you later at 2 o'clock.
Yes,
Yes.
Thanks, Maggie.
Thank you.
thanks, Maggie.
Item number 4, approve Class C retail alcohol license for Starline Lanes.
So moved.
Second, we have a motion and second. All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, manure management updates. Matthew Halber, section 25, Iowa Township, Crawford County, no changes. PI -233 Finisher, section 24, Richland Township, change crop rotation or optimum yields. Item number 6, committee report.
I go first. Last week on Wednesday, I went to Glidden City Roundtable. And this week I have nothing scheduled. Thank you.
I can go. Last week, Monday, I did not make the city council meeting as planned. Tuesday, we did have an 8:30 Zoom call for the landfill director recruitment meeting. I went out to secondary roads, looked at blueprints of drain 77 was that. Got a phone call from Renee. She will be retiring at the end of the year. And I think Courtney, you got an email this morning on the fees. We've already paid the first half of union negotiations. But anyway, she's available till the end of the year as HR. But for if the union decides to recertify, then we will have to look for somebody new to replace Renee.
Did she have any suggestions for a replacement?
I haven't got there yet, but I think she might. Wednesday, I contacted Aaron after Tuesday, looking at the drain 77 blueprints and asked him for his Friday availability and set up a meeting. Wednesday also went out to the Glidden City County Roundtable. Friday, Conservation Center Chamber Coffee. That was a good one. And then I met with Gene and Mark at the southeast corner of the old subway station and looked at the bank damage on drain 77, where it's kind of a vertical sinkhole. Then we all met out at secondary roads and looked at drain 77 blueprints with Aaron. They were just old blueprints of where the possible drain starts and stops. This week, today I'm going to be a little bit late, but I'm going to go to the cancer center meeting at the library. Wednesday, there might be a luncheon with Lieutenant Governor Knoyer. Not sure where that's going to be.
That beats right.
Well, there's 2 of them going on.
Oh,
He's got
two
one
of them.
going with the city
Oh.
with, at 5:30, there's a Board of Adjustment. Somebody in this room might be on that. Thursday, Mac and Rita's dinner with the ISAC Executive Board. Friday is Hub 712 bullpen event. Supposedly that was way cool last year, so I'm gonna try to attend that. And at 10:30 on Friday, there might be a possible meeting about the Doge efforts in Iowa. But if there is, I'll keep everybody informed. Questions? What are you laughing at?
Scott hit most of my rained on my parade anyway. No, just kidding, Scott. We did a lot of things together on drainage ditches. I did get in the car and drove by the new bridge by Ralston there, looked at that. Then I drove by and looked at the county shed, how that's coming in Templeton, and stopped in Maple River, checked out the roads and everything. Looks like everything's going pretty well. The bridge, I think, is doing pretty good. I just noticed some dips in it, but everything's not perfect, I guess. So anyway. And I thought the Maple River Road looked pretty good for what they did to it. Hopefully that'll prolong it a little bit longer.
Did you stop and look for Topeka Shiners?
I
when
did
you
not
were on
look
the
at, I had my
bridge?
boots on, so I couldn't stop and look at the Topeka Shiner.
Bring your binoculars, look down there, you'll find it.
And then as Maggie stated earlier, I did some opioid work with that, and that we've got some nice applications, and it's been in a pretty good chunk of money, so that's a good thing. Hope
Yep.
all turns out well. And I did talk to a couple of the principals about getting this going, and they were interested, put it that way. Nobody's committed to anything yet, but I think I'll probably have to work till our meeting on the 8th to discuss this a little bit more and run it by our board, our opioid committee board, and see what they think of it all. And then like I said, with Scott on the couple of drainage ditch sinks and the erosion going on down by the old subway. I got a call from a constituent on the train blockage in Glidden. They'd been there for a couple hours. Both lanes were blocked, so it's hard to get grain in and out of into the elevator and get out and go get more grain. So I told her I would go talk with Jason Huffman to see if she was concerned a little bit about emergencies. If we have an ambulance call, we have a fire call, we have whatever. And Jason says they do not get any notification from the railroads if that happens. It's mostly put back on the emergency services. They should know what an alternative route to go if they need the alternative route. So And then I attended the chamber coffee at the conservation, which was a pretty neat little thing. They had a
Yeah,
nice,
the
nice
history, yeah.
presentation. I thought it was very nice. Today, I don't have any meetings and all this week, but I'm planning on going to the cancer registry if it works in my time, and I will not be able to attend the ISAC board meeting. I got a conflict that day, and that's all I have going on for this week.
Okay, I guess I'm going next. Tuesday was CCGP meeting. A lot of time was spent again in regard to the planning session that we had on September 9th. In regard to funding and visibility and marketing and the business retention visits. That was probably the biggest discussion. Tuesday night, and I had a policy council for Head Start. It was a normal meeting. They were at 75% of their budget. Or 75% of the year, and their budget was at 65.87%, which that kind of comes out normal because of a lot of the shutdowns they have during the summer. We went through the regular program reports. Everything looked good, and health and safety programs. They also reported on the school readiness for the summer for early Head Start. And they all look good except for language, and that they think that the language score was down because we have a lot of people that are on those. I'm not going to get they're on HPs or something like that. I can't turn people with disabilities. So that was that. Wednesday, I did go to the city county roundtables. Again, I think those are very interesting. I would sure like to see more support at those. I think it's always interesting to see what it goes on in the rest of the county, and I think we can kind of share and rub off each other's back and find ways to do things without reinventing the wheel. Thursday, then we had New Opportunities Board meeting. Again, we went through everything that we did at the Policy Council. But one of the biggest things we went through was the agency's annual review of insurance. And we did renew a policy with a different company this year. Was going to save us quite a bit of money and stuff like that. We did approve some reports and also had some discussion on federal funding updates, and also reviewed the New Opportunities home sponsor of the Child and Adult Care Food Program. There was also some grants or contracts that we approved, the low income LIHEAP grant and also a community service block grant. Then on Friday, I did attend the chamber coffee, and then also met with these two gentlemen and Zach and city manager in regard to the drains, and also viewed some of the situations that's going on. And then this week I had quite a few road conversations, especially with Zach in regard to one underpass issue. And this week I have Wednesday, the Lieutenant Governor thing with CCGP, and then also the board retreat dinner on ISAC on Thursday.
Did you mention newspaper radio?
No, I have newspaper radio this week.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll be at P&Z on Wednesday. Wednesday.
Last week I had a Westwood meeting. It was a relatively long one, 2 hours on Monday. We went over the financial, everything there is going great. Then we also discussed moving away from one of our lease agreements and purchasing it, which will go with that. And then there's also a program where we can't speak too much about it because it's kind of a first initiative. Wow. Yeah. And that's all I had last week. I had some personal things to take care of later in the week. This week, I'm gonna try and attend the public health meeting today. That's gonna be more via Zoom. Thursday night, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to go to Marita's, but I might be able to stop by for just a moment. And that is all I have for this week.
Any comments from those in attendance? Courtney, next week, Bill Day. Or is it monthly?
No, I think it'll be the 13th. It's not usually the first Monday, it's the second. Looks like we're gonna have an update from Katie Mason and Coon Rapids, probably on the trail, I would assume. That's it.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We are now closed at 9:40.